His name is Betal. The poor chap had to turn closed and introvert because of the bullies he faced for the peculiar name given to him. He was a very inquisitive child, always asking questions one after another, and the questions were so negative and anti-existential that it made others feel that, like Betal, their heads would be battered if they could not answer him. Accidentally, though it was uttered by his grandmama, but later everyone picked the name to taunt him and make him silent from his harrowing questions. How do we bid adieu to the dead? I feel lucky that the generation I belong to has been witnessing a great transition. My memories would be a link between two huge periods of human history. I am not a scholar or philosopher who dares to call the periods by a name, but what encourages me to write today is the belief that my experiences may be stories, or even history to the next generation. I have been witnessing deaths, not of a single life, but such traditions that once lived by billions of Indians throughout centuries. Through this blog, I'll talk about one more funeral of such an Indian tradition. Once, people were not connected by WhatsApp or Facebook, or through bogus and decorated words, rather with feelings for one another. The bond was strong, but not smart as of now. People used to share the pain and agonies of each other. I was merely 17 when I had to attend a funeral. I believed I was very realistic and brave, and considered death an inevitable part of life. It was a dark winter night. The emotionless face of the dead was not so frightening, but what was creating tremors in my body and sensation to my conscience, the heart-throbbing cries of women and children. The environment was much like the midnight forest, when all the music of birds is silenced. Only the howling of wolves can be heard, suggesting a time in life when music never fits. Now the time was to leave the threshold, and to begin the last journey of the man I knew for years. And today, I know nothing where he is going, and where I am. He was rope-tight with the cot he used to sleep on, and was decorated with flowers and new clothes, although it wasn't looking beautiful. We started walking with the funeral. I was feeling cold, but could not stop walking. I can't think of my pain today. I am on a moral duty. I was tired. I had a cricket match today, and I ran home when I heard the news. Cold air and drowsiness were really difficult to bear. I was lagging behind. It was quite dark, and as we live in a semi-urban area, the street lighting is not sufficient so that we can see anything. The area was sparse, and there was no help, so that I could trace the other members following the funeral. The only thing that made me realize that I am lagging was the sound of the chorus, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, which was coming from very far away. Suddenly, a strange feeling struck me, and I became restless. I started rushing towards the crowd. It was a feeling that couldn't be explained. All I can say is that as if all the ghosts of my childhood stories came down to kill me, I rushed to save my life. In daylight, you can distinguish a human and its shadow. But at midnight dark, everyone seemed to be shadows only. These shadows were as if trying to wrap me up in their gloom and horror. Anyhow, I managed to join the crowd and felt relaxed. Finally, we arrived at the crematorium. We were busy arranging things required for the Antim Samskara. Humans have developed a number of alternatives to survive and to entertain, but very few alternatives have been developed to get rid of a dead body. I have a very strong conviction that regarding science and technology used to cremate a dead person, there is almost no advancement from prehistoric men to postmodern men. Prehistoric men, too, had adopted these simple ways of burning or burying dead bodies. What else is to be done? As I said earlier, that I was not afraid of the dead body at all. People might not get afraid of seeing a person burning alive, to the extent that I got my nerves frozen when I saw a man burning in complete silence. No complaints, no protest. Fire started consuming the body gradually. I was standing by the pyre and was realizing how strange my existence is. On one hand, my mind is in pain that we have lost a kin, and on the other hand, my body is feeling the pleasure of the fire of the pyre in the cold night. The ghosts in my memory, mothered by childhood stories, haunted me in the dark night, but when exposed to real ghosts, They have gone forever. The ghosts are still there, ready to haunt the coming generation, until they are exposed to realities more haunting than the ghosts.